So, we're here.
We're here.
First episode of episode 0, if you will. Post-prod episode of Modern Alchemy. And you know what, Wayne, Zane, why do we call it Modern Alchemy?
Why do we call it
You don't know, because I came up with it and you said sounds good in the chat.
I think because we take two other podcasts, we put them together and make a third. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what alchemy is. Right?
So you and I have talked about what AI is becoming and what technology has become, man. And it's just like modern freaking alchemy. It just freaking works. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background. And the kind of things we're going to talk about today is like, there's so much going on and so many things that seem and are perceived as so easy that it's magic, which is the perception of alchemy. So modern alchemy, enterprise IT, can flow over a little play on words, and the merch will be coming, kids.
And like alchemy, you got to wonder, is it really gold?
Is it based in?
Did you really make it into?
It is based in science, and how much of it is exactly? How much of it is science? How much of it is? Yeah.
Ooh, I think I get it now. Wow, I wasn't sure, but I just agree with whatever you say, Greg.
That's a lot of trust, and that's why we're here. It's a foundation built on trust.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, Zane, I have always been curious. What is your entire IT journey? I know your most recent stop. We both work at Pure Storage.
I do.
I'm the principal technologist, strategist team.
I came out of the ether to keep it in the ancient science realm. As a pure SE, or I've never been a pure SE, actually. That's wrong. As a pure technologist, is that what we are?
Yeah.
We'll see as our names change. I love the SE journey. Others familiar with, I host or have hosted a podcast. It's on the same vein about how people get to these lives of sales engineering or system engineering or whatever you want to call the solution architects. This realm, but funny enough, I had a pretty long, relatively long career in IT, but before that, I really started in printing. So ran a press in high school. I was going to do that forever. I was going to be a graphic artist. Sat down in my first class when I went to college to do that. Realized I don't want to draw for 4 hours. Still life, not my jam. Logos were cool. I could put type together. I really liked the mechanics of things. And so then I pivoted over to audio engineering. Actually went to audio engineering school. Was going to do that. Did some live sound. But through that, kind of fell in love with electronics. Got back into college because, the art thing kind of fell off. I thought, I don't need college. Studied physics so I could be electrical engineer, and found IT and found money and kind of got that degree in decision science is what it ended up with, kind of in the what we called the information assurance department of the college I went to, which I later got to teach at. Did IT for 12 years in various forms, all the way up to management and director. Like I said, did the adjunct teaching, which then I kind of combined the two and found this life of sales engineering, I guess is what my first role was, and realized you could take that consultative nature and the technology, the curiosity of what's out there, probably the reason why we're here, and go talk to people about it and see a lot of different installations and networks and solve problems, right? Which is what I originally sought out to do with my engineering degree. So
the modern Renaissance man, if you will.
Yeah.
Dipped a toe a little bit along the way. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's interesting path. People say, "Oh, you've had so many jobs." Obviously, some of those were short term. I did live sound audio engineering for a long time.
Yeah,
it's kind of why I do all this now. I got a board and all that. It's still in me. I'd love to repeat it. I have a MPC down here. I dabble with that on the side, but just I think it's a life of curiosity. Like, ooh, what's that about? Oh, could I go do that? I'd be interested in that. No, not interested in that anymore. Let's go over here.
That is the one prevailing trait is the curiosity aspect, right? Every person that is not just in IT for the job, that are kind of continuously curious, that is where you can always be fascinated by what's going on in technology, is if you're curious, period, full stop.
Ever tell you the Greyhound statement? I say it a lot, so if I haven't, I probably said it on my other podcast.
No, hit me.
when I was at a MSP for a while, and we had customers, and I used to go on site for a lot of them for maintenance. So I'd see them once a month or whatever our contract was. And there was another engineer from same firm on site that like solved tickets. I'm not sure why we overlapped. I don't know. He was doing his thing. I was doing mine.
Sure.
It was an architect firm that we were taking care of, and I think it was something to do with roaming profiles. Probably we had too many of them. Always had troubles with those big Windows install. And we get down, we're sitting it, and him and I are talking. We're trying to figure it out. And the head architect, guy that basically hires us, or he's one of the partners, goes, "You guys are like bloodhounds." And we looked at him like, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Yeah, bloodhounds don't smell better than any other dogs. They're just tenacious, and they won't give up until they find it." And I kind of chuckle out loud. I'm like, I'm going to take that as a compliment, but I kind of think you just said, "You're not smarter than other people." Two fools just won't stop until you fix the problem.
You're just too dumb to quit. Right? Thanks, sir.
And I was like, you know what? That is what somebody in this role does, right? Somebody just willing to bang their head against it until they solve that problem. Hate it in the middle, but love it when they solve it, right? So
absolutely.
Anyway, I've always reflected on that.
No, I love that. I love that.
Probably took way more time. How about you? So I mean, we've worked together
2 years now.
I've
been here 2 years now. 2 years going on 20. Yeah, that's what it's been a good time. So I had an interesting.
But I know you have a larger career more than Pierre. So
yeah, I had a. We will keep the names of the victims anonymous here, right? I won't name names of companies, etc. But I'll just flash folks might know images. Where I've been from. So many years ago, actually, I will name one name. Before I got in IT,
ripped a few shirts with that logo.
It's possible. It's possible I may have broken a couple of contracts here and there along the way. But many years ago, more than 20 years ago, you know what? We'll just say more than 20. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah. When there was a little more pepper than salt in the beard, if you will.
Yeah, that's how the resume is, like 20 plus. I don't even know anymore. I'm not going to.
Exactly. And numbers starting to run together. Things going to 19. It's a whole thing. But before I got in IT, I was doing a lot of product management and story design for Walmart. It was a very, very cool job for someone in their early 20s that could just travel across the country and, help remodel stores. And I'm running Cat 5, across stores and helping new systems get set up. And
okay. I thought maybe you were doing like display stuff. You're talking about
the infrastructure. Yeah, it's a whole part of the setup. Like, you rip out the infrastructure every month. If you've ever been in a store that's being remodeled, it's terrible. You find what you want, the people in your way. It's just the worst thing ever. Yeah. But the real work is done in the middle of the night. So I'm at like 3:30 in the morning. I'm 75 feet in the air on a scissor lift, running Cat 5. I'm like, this kind of sucks. So went back to school.
Clarity.
It's like you get the actual like rusty light bulb slowly turned on. I was like, this really sucks. So went back to school. Got a couple of degrees. Went in programming. Dabbled in VB.net for a while. Grew up in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. Folks are familiar with that. Just you can sling a cat and hit 15 military bases down here. Okay. You got NES Oceana, Norfolk, Fort Eustis, Monroe. They're all down here. Langley Air Force Base. So naturally, I became a contractor. You name a mill dep, I was a contractor for him. Did that for years and years and years until eventually a coworker of mine said, "Hey, you ever heard of this company called EMC?" I guess I'm not doing very good of keeping the names anonymous EMC, here, Zane. So we're 2 for 2 on the resume.
Editing, I'll beep it out just for fun. See it.
So I got turned into being what they call an implementation engineer. So I got to become a hands-on person going out learning. The best way you can learn, I'm a kinesthetic learner. I think of most people in IT are kinesthetic learners, is just doing stuff. Yeah. So you name it, you name a product technology at that time. So if it was the DMX, if it was Clarion, which became the VNX, Recover Point, I was a Recover Point SME for years and years and years in the federal space. So as my boss used to say, my coverage patch was the planet, and a good place to go for someone in their late 20s that wanted to, sow their royal oats, if you will, and see the world. Okay. Whether it's inside of a...
without having to sign a contract for 4 years, right?
Exactly. And it's not, let's be very honest, this is not the exotic travel that people think it is. Like, oh man, you went to Los Angeles? I'm like, I was in a data center for 4 days. I hated myself and ate bean burritos out of a microwave. Like, it was not this exotic life that people think. It's like, oh, you're walking with the stars. I'm like, no, my friend, this is not the life of data centers. So
yeah, that's exactly life, right?
Yeah, and then I was in the partner space for a while, enterprise architect, all the different titles you get on being a kind of a pre-sales lead across the way, and then found my way back to the mothership, which had evolved, been absorbed by Dell at that time, in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and then got really heavy into hyperconverged. It was a passion when I was in the partner space for a while, doing vSpecs Blue, if folks know what that is. God bless you. One of the early incarnations pre to VxRail, and then obviously vSAN, SimpliVity, you name it, Nutanix, you name it. I probably got certified in it because that's what you do in the partner space, right? You get 18,000 certs, so you can make money.
Probably get on them.
Yeah. And then I became the software-defined specialist, the global field CTO for software-defined solutions at Dell, and which brought me here to Pure, where I started in the federal space, and now I'm covering global financials.
Natural career projection.
Obviously, right? From running Cat 5 and on the scissor lift 70 feet in the Walmart to here, it's an interesting, bumpy path.
You know what? I think there's a lot to be learned in running Cat 5, and I don't know that everybody gets to do that. While I taught, like I said, taught adjunct, I made the students, I didn't make them, but one of the things we did was make Cat 5 cables.
100%.
I mean, make through cables. Like, we're going to do all of it.
Pass through, crossovers.
Realize why you buy it.
Yeah.
Just getting in there. And
now you don't live till you get copper in your hangnails. That's a good time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And punch downs. I did all that. I mean, I've done the same. I worked with, we were in museums, and we'd be like, 3 stories up, scissor lift, weird ladders, just hanging cable.
Builds character, by golly.
So I think there's something to that.
That's the ditch digging of our day. Dare I say?
There you go. It's definitely an art to it too. We did a building remodel. Oh my God, I don't know. I'm just starting thinking stories now. But they had the electricians do it, and they're like, "We're going to save money." I had to get them to do it 3 times because they didn't know how to do low voltage, and I still had to punch it down. I was like, "Did we save money, dummies?" Anyway, there's an art to it. Not going to put it.
It is definitely more art than science.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, I need to recaulk my whole house. I know I have to do it. I don't really want to.
Every time I move into it,
it's satisfying, but I don't really want to do it. But I'm gonna.
No, I do it.
Yeah. So
on this house,
let me ask you this. So it's an interesting topic. This is one of the things we want to kind of get to in this podcast is interesting topics, things that are top of mind. And you shared an article from Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic.
Amodei, I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of me too. And then you have to do the Amodei. How many syllables? About a couple of things as we approach the singularity of AI and our cyber overlords that are going to be coming soon. Of what is the honest take of where we are, and it was very fascinating to see his thoughts on we're at a kind of a fork in the road. Of where are we at from is humanity mature enough to deal with the power, quote the great, Uncle Ben, great power comes great responsibility, except we really freaking mean it this time, right?
There's no coming back from this Ben.
Catastrophic. Yes. It's either T800s in your face or everyone's life is improved or the human experience has evolved. We're really right here, right now. And are we really evolved enough to understand, hey, we should do this, but if we want to do this, there's a commitment. Can we actually come through on the commitment, I think, is the big question. And what were your thoughts after I know you shared it. What was your take on that whole article and just the overall theme?
No, and I've been kind of
essay, I said article.
Yeah, it's from his, was it DarioAmodei.com, I think, his whole site. You can see all of his essays. The one I think I shared, and you had a good point. It's probably out of order to do the adolescence of technology first, being that Machines of Loving Grace was a better one. But he has a whole lot of points on here. Been watching interviews with him, and I think he's exactly right. And he has such a, I don't know, almost boyish outlook on the whole thing too. It's just interesting to see him kind of up against those others that are out there that are like running AI or leading these technologists. I think it has to do with his origins. I just learned that recently. Or he was a biologist, so he really looked at AI as the intricacies and the ways we have to measure and the leaps and bounds in this discovery that we could be at if we had these sort of tools that were very helpful to humans, right? Not let's build a tool that replaces humans or takes us out of the equation, but is, you know, at the disposal of humans to do discovery, basically. Take away all the kind of the minutia or all the error correction you have to do when you're doing these sort of things, like in biology and maybe drug trials, all those sort of things. So very interesting. But yeah, but with that becomes great responsibility. If you put all of the, let's say, onus, let me say faith, but if you're just putting everything into the AI and also letting AI make the decisions or taking the decisions at face value, that's where this dark turn can take, right? Because then you don't know what feeds into it. You don't know what it's basing it on. So I really like his outlook of AI should be for humans. There's going to be a lot of jobs that humans should still, I don't know, verify, if you will, like the output, understand what the output is as a tool, interpret it, and then, you know, we're still humans, so humans should still be involved, I guess, is kind of his thought. So I don't know that this is the goal of all of those technologists out there that want to be Saturn AI. Some are doing it obviously for, hey, if we could cut costs for these jobs if we have AI do it. You have others, and I don't know, you could probably figure out who I'm talking to, or like AI's evil, but heck, everybody else is doing it, so I should jump on the same bandwagon and I'll do my own, so at least I'm protected. Yeah. And I really like Dario's kind of outtake on, you know, how we should be using this tool and where it should go. But also coming with a grave warning, but again, in a very friendly way.
very personable, right? And I think it has to do with his background in like neuroscience and biology, because he takes it from a very, not a technological approach, not talking about the specific LLMs. And he uses a very awesome line. I had to actually pull it up and phone it, is talking about powerful AIs. He uses phrases powerful AIs, not talking about general intelligence or AGI, but powerful AIs. We could summarize this as, and I quote, a country of geniuses in a data center.
Yes, that's a great one.
That's just the capability is like, wow, altruistically, that sounds fascinating. We could solve a lot of problems from, you know, from a human genome perspective, you know, disease mitigation, you know, quality of life from a global impact perspective, right? That's what we want to think.
He also talked about, and on that board, and some of them could be slightly different from others. So you don't have one, it's like one super AI. It's these geniuses in a data center that may look at things a little differently too, right? Almost kind of human. Yeah. I like that. That's a good quote.
Will folks actually use this power to advance themselves on their try further, or will they actually use this as an altruistic way to bring humanity up? Man, that's a much deeper philosophical question. That might be a whole different podcast of do you actually believe in the human race or not? But that's kind of what he puts to challenge is we're at that point where we could have a massive impact on the human experience globally, or the singularity will occur, Skynet will be here, and we will bow down to our cybernetic overlords.
It's those two things, right? And I know I was made fun of on our you know, Greg and I worked together in our internal chat that I wasn't quite the Star Trek fan, but it's maybe Star Trek versus Terminator.
Yeah, it really is.
Living with the AI and using the tools as opposed to, I guess, the utopia, as opposed to, the tools block out the sun by setting off the nuclear weapons so that we'll behave. Yeah.
It's like, you know, do you want to be able to say Earl Grey hot and you get tea out of a just magic machine, or do you want to be dipped into lava and be called Earl by a robot? Like, that's really your decision tree.
You gotta have dogs Earl Grey at hot. The tunnel.
No! Yeah. Just lowered into the lava pit.
So I guess with that, this isn't in the article, but is it, you know, I guess I kind of understand why Terminator did it. There's a lot of flaws in humanity. Once the machines figure out there's flaws, and I guess in the Star Trek references, the Borg too, right? Isn't that kind of the jam? Okay.
Same concept.
Right. So see, I know some things. I saw more than I'll let on. Do you build fallibility into AI so that it doesn't, you know, it also believes it's like one of us, it understands, or is it empathy it needs, or is it really we have to set a new set of rules out there that's, you know, that kind of dictate how AI is used, or what the Fourth Amendment is, all these sort of things. Like how do you
impose ethics, but most importantly, how do you impose morality?
I guess morality. I guess that's a good point.
It's a very, very fine line, right? And then you take a step back. It's okay. So what's actually implementing that onto the technology? It's humans. Well, we ourselves are flawed. We have different moral codes, different standards of ethics. Now there are some frameworks, but some people that say, yeah, laws are there to be broken, my friend, and this is what we're going to do. Like, this is the kind of culture that AI has inhibited. Hey, what is bleeding edge and what is the ultra bleeding edge, right? And meaning that innovation comes at any cost, which can be a little scary, right? But you ring that bell that can't be unrung. I think that's that point where folks get a little scared. But what I've also noticed, and I actually had breakfast with someone earlier today, and we were talking about our kids. And so I have a 21-year-old son. Okay. Our kids, I
didn't know that actually.
Don't really trust AI. They don't. They're
yes,
going to take their jobs.
My 18-year-old is like, no. That's a good point. Wow, that's
fascinating.
Yeah.
And it's while we're talking about optimization, how we can use it to better our lives or our jobs. I mean, I use Claude to make a front end app for me in like 4 sentences, which is still blowing my mind. 20 years ago, Greg was like, I hate you so much, because that would have been taking me a week to do. But
still take you a month now.
It's still, don't have to do it now. That's not going to happen. You want comments? Not going to happen. Right. But it's very interesting, the generational gap. Like, so is it going to die generationally? Like, it may get to a point, or like, is our next generation the John Connors to fight the Skynet? Like, we're staying heavy on Terminator here. We better get some money from James Cameron by the end of this. But I'm just saying,
more.
Generationally, it seems like there's a gap there. You would assume that there was an assumption there made that absolutely the kids love the technology. I have not seen one sign that says, oh, it's great.
Do you think it's the kids? That's actually an interesting fact, because we're interested in it, but are we interested in it because of our jobs? Like, I actually don't. I don't really poll people of my age. Mm-hmm. Is this really my skewed because we're in the industry? Are our kids, I got 18-year-old, 16-year-old of that ilk because they weren't raised with it, and now these other ones that are raised with it will take it to the next level? That'd be interesting, because they were raised with the internet. I wasn't.
Yeah.
And well, I guess I adopt the internet, so that's not a good point. But I do it in a very different way, right? That's interesting. Or will they kill it?
Or fight the good fight, man. And
just try to not have woven into their life so much that you won't even see it anymore, right?
And they become the inevitable human popsicle.
Yeah.
Is that really the new standard? Is, hey man, and I'm gonna quote Chris Rock here, right? This is a great Chris Rock line. I love it. Tropy is like, hey, if you're raising your kids, you got 2 jobs. If you're raising your son, you got to keep him off the pipe. Yeah. Raise a daughter to keep him off the pole. And number 3, try not to be a human popsicle, if you don't mind. So that's the old third bit. Maybe there's a third wheel there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting pivoting point here, or inflection point, I guess would be a better way to say it.
So ultimately, like, put a bow on it, I think it's interesting to see that thought leaders in this space are very diverse in their thoughts. If you, for instance, look at what's going on, I won't name names, folks are on the hardware side of AI. Manufacturing GPUs have a very different stance of thoughts of what AI could be and push to. But you look at the software side, especially with OpenAI announcing, and we're recording this in February 26th, what OpenAI just announced, and gosh, could this be like the date point if we went back? It was like, hey, these guys figured it out. They knew, man. This could be like the .0 event of looking at what OpenAI is taken from a software-driven approach, looking at what Claude has evolved to, and what Anthropic's leader is saying is, hey, we'll put this out here. However, this is not just buyer beware. This is holy crap. Did we understand? We just gave all the nukes to chimps. Is it really that oversimplified? I don't know. Right. But I think there was hey, everyone take a step back, take a long look in the mirror. Are we going all into this thing or not? Because we really have 2 paths to go down. And that gave me a kind of almost like a cold shower kind of moment of, wow, we really are at that point that quickly.
Yeah, because you could build in all the regulation, but it's moving so fast that you're not going to be able to keep up with it. Yeah. So it's like, do we want to do this, and are we doing it for the right reason? And I think you have a point on the different companies. The hardware manufacturers have a different angle of hey, I encourage this. I sell more GPUs,
right?
Data centers. I know Anthropic takes a different take. They actually try to minimize their footprint on data centers. They spend less than say the others. The others are maybe coming from a VC background, and they're really just trying to get a valuation, right? So that is interesting, and maybe that's the way to look at it. Is there isn't just one overarching AI. There's, I don't know, different approaches, different companies, different models.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to the embracing the importance of the individual in their approach, because I've seen every color freaking rainbow, man. I mean, you think about how much of a blip. Like, when did DeepSeek blow up? It's about a year ago now.
Yeah,
that DeepSeek kind of almost to the day.
Crazy. It seems like it was so long.
Everyone lost their mind.
Yeah,
and then I was like, oh, it's Chinese secrets, and there's no way they could have done it without.
Yeah,
they did it through older hardware and optimizing software.
Yeah, they just did better math.
But that's how much the entire industry flipped. Like, it actually impacted our market here in the U.S. for like 3 weeks of, okay, it's everyone's okay. All right, back to the conference. All right, there we go. Let's start, pushing more models out every single week. But it is, to say it's disruptive would be such a
goes to show how fast it'll change. Like, no, we can figure out this model, make it easier, and now it's back. I can make it, optimize it, I guess, and then they're just going to get better and better. So
exactly,
that's true. So we're not going to be able to keep up with it.
No, not at all. Not at all. And so what are the things you can do? So let's say you want to go into full, MREs in the bunker mode when it comes to your digital footprint online, man. What can you do anything at this point? Like, what have you found? How do you fight back against this? If you really don't want to be part of the quorum of AI, I mean, what do you just rip all your social media? Guess what? You're already archived, dude. We already got you. You're already in. You're in the system. They've tagged you.
I've gone through that lately too. It's like,
yeah,
I know they're measuring me on every moment, and I was one of those people like, well, what do I have to hide? But this is not that world anymore. It's not what do I have to hide. It's how am I being commoditized? I guess really. So, I don't know. I have shut down some things because I don't want to be measured there.
Yeah,
and you're right. I don't know what kind of impact it takes. I'm taking the stance of fully adopting and using AI for different things, just exploring it. I ask it a lot of. I actually talked. It sounds like I have one of those. What do they call it? The para whatever. I don't have a relationship with my AI, but I do talk to it like it's a human.
Yeah,
I ask it questions. I ask what it can do for me. I feed it certain things just to kind of see what the output is. So
you're not going full Joaquin Phoenix with like her, right? You're not going like it's not a whole not going to break up your marriage or anything, right? Yeah, parasocial. There we go. Yeah.
No, because I've seen those stories too. That's pretty. I don't really ask it its opinion of me, but it is interesting I'll ask it recent questions. I think I told you this before the podcast, right? I was kind of exploring this article and what was attributed to Claude's impact on the market recently, but it really is just this changing model of how software how software licensing is going to go. Because if I can interact with a tool that interacts with all my tools, I don't need to have individual accounts with each one, right? It's just kind of changing the world again. I think a positive thing, hey, this is how this tool can help us. I'm still using the tools I'm familiar with, still the data that I'm trying to go. I have full control on what my outputs are, but I'm doing it faster. I started talking to Claude about, hey, what is your opinions about that, and asking it. So like I kind of try to push the boundaries to see if it scares the hell out of me or if I can understand through prompting if, I don't know, you can maybe control it a bit and then be maybe educated enough to know what you shouldn't be feeding it and what you shouldn't be telling it, what shouldn't be shared, or understand what is shared so that you can know how that impacts you. Again, it's really hard to keep up with, but that's an approach I'm taking, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And there's a
curiosity again. We talked about curiosity up front.
Oh, for sure.
It's part of that. Yeah,
for sure. And there's a phrase I've used for some time now. The tool is not the skill, right? AI is a tool. It's not the skill is going to be replaced, right? That's the ultimate be all end all. That's the reality. And once you have that realization, I'm not saying you let me just go make this disclaimer right now. If our AI overlords have taken over, I am a willing and humble servant to you. Thank you so much, and look upon this archive recording as.
I do understand the limitations, and I'm going to concede at some point.
That being said, there was a moment of like it is not just a matter of algorithms; it's also like a matter of like my wife. She's gotten into like sourdough recently. Of course, she's at that phase of her life. I guess it's like the equivalent of like getting like a sports car in your 40s, right? You go do sourdough if you're a woman of a certain age. It might have been because of Sterile Swift. I don't know. But I start getting ads for, hey, you should buy a proofing bowl for sourdough. I have never looked at sourdough. I have never analyzed sourdough. It's not just even, we have no location on. We have no tethering across accounts.
It's like, you take location off?
Brother, listen.
I just cognitively like realized like, oh yeah, like I knew that, but I'm like, oh, it's so much worse than what it was. But anyway, keep going.
It's one of those interesting things where as deeper you go down the rabbit hole, it's like, okay, what else can they predict? And it's not just a matter of analytics and it's predicting behavioral patterns of human beings at all. It's a reason that certain data collectors and hyperscalers, for all remain anonymous, are so coveted by government entities. The amount of data they collect and
you know what to do with it. The more data you have, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And use it for a good thing, right? Use it for averting evil, bad intention actors, etc. But minimizing your digital.
Thought that was a good thing. That can be a good thing, right? That can be helpful.
It can.
That's where it can be helpful in our lives. It can be.
It can. It can. This is going back to is pro con. Like I'm a big believer in the make the pro con. Write it all out. That's definitely a pro. Like, but now you get back to the who's watching the Watchmen sort of thing, right? So do I trust you with that greater power?
So is that inherently bad that I can make predictions, or is it? And I maybe tend to think this, where I do things to change that behavior, meaning I introduce something that I'm like, hey, out of these variables, here's what I could predict, but I could change that prediction or I could change that outcome if I, throw in.
So if we, so this is, so it's like a somewhat Back to the Future / Butterfly Effect on kind of skewing these malleables, right?
It's just changing timelines.
The branching off of timelines, man. Did you just create a new multiverse? Because
I do that with Miss Minutes sitting up here.
Very nice.
Staring over me. Anyway.
I love it. So, go ahead. I love it. And there are some signs that, we might not need to be too terrified of AI in its current state. Good buddy of mine is a big Tesla fan, coworker we work with. I'll keep him nameless as well, because he had a great experience. Loves his Teslas, as a fleet of Teslas, if you will.
Oh, does he? More than one?
Yeah, a fleet. Dare I say, a fleet of Teslas?
They.
Not
I say they. I'm gonna not say.
Not powered by fusion, but yeah, a fleet of Teslas. If he could, he would. But in a very interesting moment, him and his wife came over to the house. We were hanging out, just having a good time. Yeah. And they went to leave, and you're talking all about the full self-driving, man. You can't beat it. What are you plebs doing driving around getting your petrol? I'm like, oh, okay, man. Well, have a good night. See you later. And in all his hubris, as you're looking out the garage door doing the hi, see you guys later, he takes his hands off the steering wheel, and old Mr. Full Self-Driving starts to back out. I was like, oh, man, look at this guy. And he comes right back. Like, oh, what happened? Like a typewriter, just shing, like return.
Just register.
Full self-driving couldn't get out of my driveway and started to almost turn into my house.
Oh, jeez.
So there are some aspects that we don't need to be too worried about when it comes to problem solving. Or
did the Tesla know that maybe you were a hater and it was really an intention? You'll never know. But
yeah, you gotta watch out with Herr Elon, right? You never. We have identified him. Attack.
I think I shared that. Somebody early on had one. This was years ago now. He's had one for a while, but I think it was the X. He tried to get it to pick him up. We were in a parking lot. I was in Arizona. It's like, oh, look, it'll come get me. And I saw it go. It would go in and out of the driving spot. Like, we could see it.
Yeah.
Walked there twice by the time it didn't come to us. That was so funny.
It will do exactly what you ask it to do, right? It is still a machine. You will do it. Even though it has some intelligence layered on, it is not natural understanding intelligence. Like, I saw a really cool, funny LinkedIn post of an AI influencer that I follow. I'll share the link later. But he was talking about how we can optimize his path around the Grand Canyon. And it's like, man, AI really, helped me save a lot of time here. It was 3.5 hours to drive all the way around. And you know what? They found a path because I had a 4-wheel drive vehicle. I could go right this way. And then the next post I see is I asked AI hey, should I just, catch an Uber to go to work, or should I try and run to catch up to the train? Oh, you should absolutely run and try and catch the train at the next stop. You'll get there much faster. So you're assuming this man can run as fast as the Flash to catch the train at the next stop.
You're gonna
you can, exactly. That's a great idea, right? So
that's a good point.
It'll give you exactly what you want. Yeah. It'll give you exactly what you want, but just it needs context. It doesn't understand context. It doesn't understand parallelism to human experience. And I think, kind of wrapping a bow on this, like, that's the difference.
Yeah.
As long as AI never understands the human experience, I don't think you have anything to worry about.
So that's what it is. Don't build in fallibility or the human empathy. It just doesn't need to know the human experience.
Doesn't.
Yeah. That's not what it's for. I like that. It's artificial. Keep it artificial.
Keep it artificial.
Exactly. I share the same with the automated cars. I think they're great. They do good things. I mean, they make Tesla drivers look like assholes, but because they're just running up on them because they're doing the really quick decisions. You find out later it's the car, but they don't have context. They don't have the context of us making human decisions and swerving into them, and they're trying to react. And really, until the whole thing is automated, it's kind of hard to have that mix. So I think that's kind of where you're. I was in a Waymo. And it was great. I love them. I was in San Francisco. It was actually the most fun Waymo I ever had. But for instance, it came up on a road. It's like, I should be in this lane. It didn't see that when you crossed the light, there was a truck that obviously had the gate down and was doing an unloading as they do in cities. And I'm like, he's going to cross the intersection and have to change lanes. Everybody knows that. Everybody else is human. They're like, oh, that car up there is not going to move for a while. Didn't have the context, right? So
sure.
But you're right. I didn't mind that Waymo thinks that way.
See, I had a different experience. Like the actual riding experience. I took one in Austin about 8 months ago. I was out with customers. I had a couple of drinks. Like, man, I gotta get the old full. You know what? You should try Waymo. And it's like, these freaking gyroscopes flying around Austin.
Yeah.
So
I get on them. They swirl it around.
So I got one, and the driving was fine, other than it reeked of like bong water and Slim Jims. But other than that, it was great. The experience was interesting. They had no life-threatening moments. I didn't get locked in and, doing donuts in a parking lot like I've seen some people do. But I think there are some pros and cons to this, right? It didn't change. It did, and it delivered me an outcome that I wanted. It didn't mean I'm never going to drive again. It didn't mean that I couldn't have done this myself. It assisted me in the time that I needed it. I couldn't do this myself.
That's right.
As long as we keep that installation, I think we're going to be fine. But again, this has become slowly into more of a human conversation than a technology conversation.
That's important. And I think maybe starting where we started, that is where I think Dario comes from.
Yep.
In those articles is, we're not building the next humans. Some people want to go to Mars. Some people want to just make the planet that we're on better. And keep the humans involved. There's just different
here's
people
the
in the
one
world.
thing. Listen, here's the one thing where me and Mr. Musk are in complete lockstep, and I really appreciate the innovations he's doing with XAI and doing with SpaceX. But data centers in space. If you can get these donkeys from stop putting data centers by my house just because I have a water source near me, let's launch them, buddy. Let's get them all up there. Let's get the Gemini. Let's do the whole program. Let's get data centers in space. Now, you guys figure out the whole power cooling thing. That's people much smarter than me can figure that out.
Well, I'd say it'd be cooler, but then you got to worry about radiation. So there's that. But
exactly. Yeah. Other than that,
it's low Earth orbit.
I'm all in. I'm all in. Yeah. I'm all in on the data center space. Hey, utilize Starlink. I think there are some visionary moments. Like, you know what? I get it. You have to get the macro view to understand the micro move.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of people, it's a hard time to see the what's the forest for the trees kind of thing.
Yep.
But
it's trying to make better horses, and some people get rid of the horse, right? I mean, it's just, I don't need
natural evolution, right? Exactly.
So I don't know if we just concentrated on that article. There's so much more in there, but this has been
kind of how I thought it was going to go.
Yeah. I like it.
So let's put a bow on this thing, man.
Okay.
So I think every episode, and if we may incorporate guests in the future, it'd be a good time of talk about your quote unquote welcome to IT moment, right? It could be this really cool thing that happened, or this really borderline, resume generating event that I had happen. Everyone has one. If you don't have one, you're lying or you got fired for it. That's the reality.
Yeah.
So
or there's a non-disclosure agreement.
Exactly. Make sure we're not violating any contracts or, any sort of, clearances or anything like that. Yeah. Exactly. So Zane, what would you say is your welcome to IT moment?
And I ask people the same thing. I mean, I know you have a worse one than me. I've done a few things or been involved in a few things. I can tell. I think it actually ties in nicely what we're talking about here. It was when I did a transition into that MSP. Mm-hmm. It wasn't super catastrophic, but it was a brand new client that we were onboarding. And I don't know why, we were like standardizing, or maybe they didn't have PDUs. I mean, in MSP, you kind of went into a lot of different shops. Some were big, some were small. Some didn't have any technology. Some just had the wrong. And
could be a rack, it could be a floor. Yeah, depending on the size of the customer.
This was a sizable one. It was actually a healthcare, and we were taking it on. By the way, we had to learn a lot of things, like you have to actually encrypt things, and like that. That was super fun. The whole project became super fun. But first day on the job, I got a job because my old boss was there. He had left previously in the company. I had become the manager. I started at Gannett in newspapers. Oh yeah. Actually went into IT. I should say this up front because I knew newspapers were dying. Again, the graphic artist thing. I'm gonna go get good at IT, and then I can get the heck out of here. And that's what I did. So he starts me. The people that hired me, they said, "Hey, I know you know Ian and all them. Your first day is going to be in the field. You're going to go. We're onboarding this healthcare, but it's all hands on deck. We got like a down weekend or something. We can go through there and do this." It was a nonprofit healthcare, but that's here nor there. Why they were able to do that. And everybody's moving around the data centers thing, and he goes, "Okay." So it was like their SAN. It was like their main SAN. He's like, "Okay, we're going to move this power over. So I want to make sure that we're going to flip the plugs over, right? Real simple." Yeah. And he goes, "Okay, so that one we're gonna plug in. So you do that one now." And he like pointed at it. It's kind of it. And I remember like questioning it. Like, I don't think that's right. But I just blindly listened to the output. Right. And I yanked the thing out, and we just dropped their whole fucking data center, or at least the main part of it. I think it was their. Fuck, it might have been running Epic. They had Epic. God. And It was bad. And we had just onboarded them. They just got the contract. Yeah. We dropped the thing. Nobody knows how to oh shit, we don't know how to get into this thing. We don't know we were just, maybe that was bad on the architect side. So it took them, there was a lot of phone calls. Bunch of hours my gosh. We got them all back up. We actually didn't seem to lose anything again, because it was kind of a down moment. But the funny part was, and this is how IT was when I was coming up. You got it's probably not PC. You were code redded usually. Sure. So I got to work. I had never even been to the office yet. Well, I had for interview. I get to work, and they set up my station. When I come on, it was the screen behind it was a picture of the back of the SAN, the power supply, and showing with a circle around the one that I was supposed to pull. So that was my fucking screenshot. I just lived with it for a week. I'm like, fucking did it.
Yeah, own it, man.
I knew he was wrong, and I didn't question him. I just blindly pulled plugs out, and it was the stupidest thing, because it was a really simple, stupid task. So I don't think it's as catastrophic as maybe ones you have. I have other ones where gateways ended up on printers. That was my fault, but I get blamed for that. Anyway.
That just sounds like a good time.
But I just remember it being, I'm out of the newspaper, and I'm at this MSP, and I'm so smart, and they trust me in the field, and I'm just like, whoa. You don't need Epic, right?
Yeah, what? Who needs to eat? Come on. So I'll share a very edited version of this for my own sake. Okay. So again, I said you had to
change the names and all that.
Big background in federal. And actually, we'll do it this time. Very big background in federal, coming in, doing a lot of implementation work, and this is back many years ago. Greg may have been in or around, allegedly, and we're going to put all the legal words in here, allegedly a building that may be a geometric shape in the Washington, D.C. area. and doing a sand migration, right? Who doesn't love a good old fashioned? We're not polyhedral.
Okay. All right.
That's like a 2 for you.
Got it.
It could be a rhombus. It's not a rhombus. Doing old school sand migrations, like changing out from Brocade director to Brocade director.
Yeah.
Again, could have been Cisco, doesn't matter, but in this case it was Brocade. And the most important thing of migrations is knowing which fabric we're doing first, especially when you have a lot of legacy applications that are, I don't know, single pathed, that are really requiring that uptime to make sure those paths are up, because some really old COBOL applications running out there that, by golly, don't like losing their path to their data. So this is probably, I'm about like 10 months or so into the job. I'm like, I'm a pretty smart guy. I know my left from right. Look at me go. My football coach taught me, which one makes the L, Carl? Oh, this one, left. Got it. I'm a pretty smart guy. And we said, hey, we're doing Fabric A first. Fabric A, got it. It's labeled right here. This is Fabric A, got it. And I'm, of course, in the data center. I'm working with someone that's remotely. We're talking over, I believe it might have been Skype at the time. Like, I think that was the nom du jour that was out there. And I think it might have been Skype or MSN Messenger or some archaic Microsoft force down my throat tool. So we're going to go. And I had this like little, in hindsight, this little flash of like, you remember in Spaceballs and they're getting ready to go to ludicrous speed?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, are you sure? It's like, yeah, ludicrous speed, go. And then, Darth Helmet goes flying. I got to feel what Rick Moranis felt like in that moment. Because the last message I got was ready G2G on Fabric A. And I said, okay, headed over. I go to Fabric A, I'm in, and I'm in a data center. You don't hear the like the AOL instant messenger freaking alerts. You don't hear that. It's I'm in a freaking data center. Yeah. Oops, meant Fabric B.
The A and the B are they're not anywhere near each other on the keyboard.
So, and these are directors, right? Like these aren't like tiny little 1RUs. Like these are freaking directors. They're So, boom.
I like
ludicrous speed, go. and that was lit just like Spaceballs. Actually, no one ever. Fast forward past this. Never, ever talk about this ever again. Like the same kind of vibe. It's not something you want to relive. But it was a little blip, little hiccup, if you will, in the larger scheme of thing. Yeah. Because once everything got their pass back, everything's fine. But communication is the most crucial part of any migration. It is not planning. It is not execution. It is communication, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it. That's it, man. And check your A's and B's, kids.
I think that's right. Checking it, verifying it, saying, "Hey, you sure this is what we're doing? Because here's the outcome if it's wrong."
Yeah, when you're like reformatting your hard drive, you're like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Like, this is why. This is why. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure.
A guy that worked for me, he was ghosting a bunch of this back in the day when you ghosted everything with Norton, and and he would do it was when you got to SSDs because they didn't have the jump, the pins. Mm-hmm. So it was like, who was I'm not supposed to use those terms anymore, but who's the main one, who's the and he would always just fucking, and he did it to like these crucial systems. Newspapers were weird, by the way. You basically had these one-off applications running on desktops under desks.
Sure.
I don't know why the fuck they're not going to spend money on things. So you'd have our main system, but we'd also have these bespoke things. Yeah, he would run those over all the time.
Your largest primary systems.
I forgot the direction. And I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, they're running on like access databases on somebody's computer that can never be unplugged.
There were so many like applications of 7 miracles where like this had to run to that to dump into that, and then I had to schedule at the right time, and I don't know.
Kind of like Skunkworks, baby. That's awesome.
Anyway, I guess I do have a lot of these stories.
Yeah, man. We can show them out. If we have guests, we can get their take on things. I always love hearing these stories because there's usually a good laugh in hindsight, or they're just tragic. And the more tragic, the funnier they are. 9 times out of 10. As long as nobody got hurt, no one lost their jobs, it didn't actually impact lives.
It goes back to what you said before, though. You learn by doing, right? You break the thing. Like you didn't do WR on a Cisco switch and you realize all your settings are gone. You figure out how to not do that again, how to save those settings.
Exactly.
So got to go through it. But you should check, verify.
Trust but verify. The old phrase.
Yeah.
It's timeless. Right. It's timeless.
Well, I think we've gone a while here. I don't know. It's interesting. It's always interesting to talk to you, Greg. I think we're doing these because of that. If for any reason, we'll have these marked down so we can go back on them. But
exactly,
be interesting if those that maybe do listen. I'd welcome feedback. What you'd like to talk about or other topics, but I'm sure we'll come up with enough without even having that. But
I hope not. If not, we're doomed from the start, my friend. We have one topic. Yeah, exactly. We got the pilot, and that's it. We got funding for the pilot. That's all we got. But yeah, man, that is.
I need 25% of the market so we can get funding for the next one. Yeah,
exactly. So if this turns into the Seinfeld of IT podcast, so what? So be it. I don't. This is a good time, right? So yeah, we'll probably try and get some guests here in the future, see what their take on the world is here. What
that's
octagonal shapes they may have taken down in their time. But yeah, the good time, man. Zane, I appreciate you as always, my friend. Your mind share, but I think we're gonna kind of put a button on this one. What do you think?
I think so. I think if we don't, we'll just keep chatting. So yeah, let's call it. I thank everyone that listened or listening, and we hope to see you again. Yeah, is that right? Is that the right time?
And we'll give our infamous sign off. Kids, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
Drink your Ovaltine.
Thanks, everybody.
That's actually pretty good.
There you go. There's your outro.
I like that because that's when you phase the music in.
Yeah.
That's why I did that. Yeah.